Hello, my crafty friends. I sure hope you're having a fabulous day. My name is Robyn Pitts with Sir Chauncey Rocco Creative Designs. Welcome to my channel and welcome to the second day of Merry Craftmas in July 2023. Over the next few days, I have some fun and easy projects to help you get into the holiday spirit and to jumpstart your Christmas crafting. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a simple faux stepper card, and it's super easy for mass production, especially when you're creating Christmas cards. But before I do that, I do want to share some news with you. At the end of this Christmas series, I will be doing a fun giveaway. In order to participate, you must be 18 years or older, a U.S. resident. You also must watch and leave a comment for each of the videos in this series, and you must be a visible subscriber. You can gain additional points by referring your friends to my channel. All they have to do is become a subscriber, watch my videos, and leave a message. Be sure to remind them that when they leave their message to use you as a reference so that I know to credit you the appropriate points. For this series, I will be uploading new projects every other day at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please join me for some crafting fun. This is my first card that I've created, and as I mentioned, it is a faux step card. It measures 5 by 7 inches, which means that it will easily fit into a standard envelope. However, if you are adding embellishments, you may need to use an envelope box or a small card box. To make these cards, I've used a brand new penguin stamp set that Crafter's Companion just released. I think it is so adorable. There are 6 stamps in the collection. This is the first one called Making Spirits Bright. The second one is Have a Nice Day, Sending Holiday Cheer, Christmas Hugs, Snow What Fun, and Christmas Blessings. To color the stamps, I use these Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend pens. They have a brush nib. These make coloring with alcohol markers very easy because they have 3 colors in one, a light, a mid, and a darker tone. For the paper collection, I went shopping in my Christmas craft vault and I dusted off some older papers. This one is called Northern Lights by Recollections, and I'm so excited that I rediscovered it. It is so fun and whimsical, and I love the holographic elements in it. To cut out the penguin, I use these Crafter's Companion Gemini stitched edge circle dies. However, if you don't have this die, you can use whatever you have in your stash. You can make it a rectangle, a square, or a circle. I cut the larger die cut piece out in a beautiful holographic paper because that coordinated so well with the Northern Lights paper. In the background, you can see I have this lavender paper with holographic snowflakes. I also fussy cut these individual Christmas trees from the paper collection. I've embellished it with these fun snowflake pearls, and here is a sentiment dashing through the snow that came with part of the stamp collection. When I turn the card to the side, there are essentially 2 pieces to this card. You have the tent, and then a center you have a larger accordion fold. That's it. This card cuts out all of the measurements and the cutting and the guesswork that you have to do when you're making a traditional stepper card. On the back, I have created a signature piece, and I simply layered this beautiful designer paper with an additional piece of cardstock, and then we have this cut apart here from the paper collection. Let's take a look at our second card. This is my second card, and I decided to use a traditional Christmas theme. The paper collection that I used is also by Recollections. It's called Fireside. In the center, we have this adorable penguin stamp. This is called Christmas Hugs. I think he is so cute and pudgy and squeezable. To cut out the penguin, I use this Crafter's Companion nesting die. This is called the Stitch Ornate Oval. In the back, I've used a gold foil to cut out the second layer of this die cut piece, and all of the images that you see here are cut from the paper collection. I didn't use any additional ephemera. So we have all of these beautiful poinsettias. This is a sentiment, "'Tis the season to be jolly," also in the paper collection. You'll notice that my little penguin has a Christmas tree on his sweater. He has just come from picking out his Christmas tree. Here's his little red truck and his little Christmas tree. On the bottom here, we have a border from the paper collection. More poinsettias and another sentiment. And then these little circles here are icons that I cut out from the paper collection, and I simply used a 1-inch circle punch to cut them out. Isn't this adorable? Now, this card is slightly different from the first card in that you have this separate ledge here in the front. Now, when I turn it to the side, you still have this tent piece, so all of the pieces are the same. However, instead of gluing the tent piece to the front of the card, I have included it into the center. Okay, so that gives you a different look, and it also gives you more real estate for decorating. So let me bring back the other card just to show you the difference. Here for this front card, you can see that I've glued the tent directly to the back and to the front. On the back of the card, I have finished the back off using this beautiful tartan plaid. I've also created another signature area, and again, I've used these fussy cut pieces from the paper collection. Now that I've given you an overview of these two cards, I'm going to grab my materials so that we can make one together. To make the card, you will need the following materials. You'll need 2 pieces of 110-pound cardstock. You'll need designer paper, and I am using a Recollections collection called Winter's Night. I'm also using this stamp set called Christmas Blessings. I'm using a Crafter's Companion die set. This is called Stitch Moroccan Tile. And I'm also using the Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend Brush Alcohol Markers. Now that we've gathered all of our materials, let's begin making our project. To begin, you're going to need 1 piece of 110-pound cardstock that measures 7 inches by 9.5 inches. On the 9.5 inch side, you're going to score at 3 1/4, 6 1/2, and 8 inches. Now we need to fold and burnish. So we're going to fold back on the 3 1/4 inch mark, fold forward on the 6 1/2 inch mark, and then we're going to fold back on the 8 inch mark. And you want to make sure that you burnish each level well. Okay, and you should have a piece that looks like this. Let's set that to the side. Next, you'll need a piece of 110-pound cardstock that measures 4 1/4 by 10 inches. On the 10-inch side, you're going to score at 5 inches, and you want to fold and burnish. So you should have a piece that looks like this. Next, you'll need a piece of cardstock that measures 4 by 4, and you're going to score at 1, 2, and 3. Now we need to fold and burnish. We're going to create a mountain fold for the first score line. At the second score line, you're going to create a valley and then a mountain on the third score line. And like you did for the other pieces, you want to make sure that you fold and burnish. This piece looks like a little W. We're going to be using this to hold the card together on the bottom. So we can set this aside. Next, you'll need another piece of cardstock that measures 4 1/4 by 3 inches. On the 3-inch side, you want to score at 1 1/2 inches, and you'll have a piece like this. This is going to be used to attach this front panel to the card base. Now that we have our pieces cut out, we can begin to add our matting layers. We're going to be working with this larger piece of paper first, and we're going to cover the center. You're going to need 2 pieces of colored cardstock. In this case, I'm using the blue sparkle paper, and that measures 6 3/4 by 3 inches. You'll need a decorative panel that measures 6 1/2 by 2 3/4. And that's going to go here.
Now we'll cover this front panel here.
You'll need 1 piece of cardstock that measures 6 3/4 by 1 1/4, and then you'll need a piece of decorative cardstock that measures 6 1/2 by 1, and that's going to be glued down here. So let's go ahead and glue these 2 pieces on now. Now that we have the 2 pieces glued to the front, let's turn this around. And we're going to take another panel. Now this panel is the same size as this piece that we just glued on. So let's glue that on to the back now. Now that we have the back panel glued on, let's set this piece aside, and we're going to work with this center panel. And this piece measures 4 1/4 by 10 inches. And remember, we scored at 5 inches, so it should look like a little tent. And then you'll need another piece that measures 4 1/4 by 3 inches, and we scored along the 1 1/2 inch mark. So you should have a piece that looks just like this. We're going to take this center panel.
We're going to add glue here.
And you want to slide that just like so. Okay, so go ahead and do that now. Now you should have a piece that looks like this. So let's fold this out, and we're going to add our matting layers. You're going to need 2 pieces of colored cardstock that measures 4 inches by 4 3/4, and the decorative paper is 3 3/4 by 4 1/2 inches, and that's going to be right here. So go ahead and glue that on now. So we have this piece glued down. Let's turn it around, and the piece that has no ledge, we're going to glue down the same mats, and that's going to go right here. Also, you're going to need a piece of white cardstock that measures 3 inches by 3 1/4 inches. That's going to be your signature panel. Okay, and that's going to go right in the center. So glue that down now. So now we have all of our decorative paper on this center panel. Let's bring in the larger base, and we're going to take this piece that has a little flap, and we're going to set that in right in the center of the card. Okay, right in this area here. Now this little lip that we added should come up right just before the score line. If you notice that it comes above it, you can just simply trim off a little bit more here, so that when you have it aligned like this, you don't see any paper sticking up. So what we want to do is add glue right here, and we're going to glue it to the center right here. You don't need to glue this back piece down, just this front piece. So I will do that with you just to make sure there's no confusion. I'm going to hold my card up. I'm going to make sure that it's centered. And then I'm going to push this piece up and use my bone folder to make sure there's a nice strong adhesion. Now we have our center piece glued on. Let's squeeze the card together so that it's flat, and turn the card around, and you'll see that this panel fits perfectly on the back. So now we need to glue this back panel to this, and I would glue it from the bottom here up to maybe about 3 inches right here. Okay, you don't want to put too much glue because you don't want it to seep out from the top. If it helps, you can actually put a little pencil mark on the inside. Okay, so I know I can put glue right up to that little pencil mark. So let's go ahead and add glue here and then attach it to our back.
So I've put glue on this panel.
You notice I have the card folded flat, and then I'm going to lift this up and hold it into place and then burnish it. So now you have the back panel glued on. Let's fold the card in, and we're going to work on these 2 pieces here. Next, you want to grab this piece here. This is the piece that measures 4 by 4. We scored it at 1, 2, and 3. and it looks like a W. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to glue this to the back, to this area right here in the back, so that the card won't slide out. Okay, so we're going to put glue on this tab, and we're going to attach it to the inside of the card right here. You want to make sure that it's centered, and then you want to glue the other tab right here to the back. Okay, so let's do this together. I'm going to put glue on this tab here. I'm going to center it. And again, it should be flushed to the bottom of the card. Give that a few seconds to hold. Okay, and then let's turn the card over. And we're going to put glue on this panel right here. Okay, we're going to tilt this in and fold it down, and it should automatically align into place. There you go, give that a few seconds to hold. Now we have our back hinge glued on. If you want, you could also include a hinge on the front panel if you don't like it just sitting out like that. So I've created a smaller piece. I didn't do that in my other card, but I've created a smaller piece. So this measures 4 inches long, but it's 3 inches wide. And on the 3-inch side, I scored at 3/4 of an inch, 1.5 inch, and then 2.25 inch. I folded it like a W, okay? And then we can glue this on the front panel just like we did for the back panel here.
So go ahead and glue this piece down, repeating the same steps that we used in the back.
So now we have that panel attached just like so, and when you sit the card up, you'll notice that there's much more control on this bottom panel here, and it sits straight up just like so. Okay, now the fun part, we can start decorating. I have cut out this little penguin angel. I think he is so cute. And the stamp that I used is called Christmas Blessings. I also used this Crafter's Companion Gemini die set. It's called Stitched Moroccan Tile. I thought this shape worked well for the stamp. Isn't it adorable? Now, I have this cardstock popped up on one layer of foam tape, and then I have another layer of foam tape in the back. So I'm going to put this here. Actually, let me put this down. I'm going to put this right here. And then I've cut out a variety of die cut pieces and embellishments. So I'm just going to lay them out and glue them on. I'm going to finish this card, and then I'll come back for the final reveal. This is my final card, and I love the way this turned out. I really like the contrast of this ice blue glitter paper against the dark blue background. I have embellished it with these fun little pearl snowflakes, and all of the images that you see here I have fussy cut from the paper collection. On either side here, I have these little ovals with Christmas trees, and then I fussy cut these cute little angels here on the bottom. I have them on various layers of foam tape and a beautiful wreath behind them. And then last but not least, we have this sentiment here that says Happy Holidays. Let me turn this to the side. Isn't that lovely? And this is the back. I've created a signature panel here. I've embellished it with these snowflakes, and then this piece I fussy cut from the paper collection. Here's a final look at my completed cards. In this video, I showed you how to make faux stepper cards in 2 easy ways. As you can see, there are lots of versatility. With a quick change of paper, you've got completely different cards. Hopefully, I've inspired you with new and creative ideas. If you like this video, please take a moment to give me a thumbs up, leave a comment because you know I love hearing from you, and don't forget to subscribe. Please be sure to watch the other videos in this series. I have included a playlist to the Merry Craftmas in July series in the description box below. Please be sure to join me tomorrow for day 3 of Merry Craftmas in July. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now, and happy crafting.